Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. Welcome back everybody. So first of all, there was no updates on weekend, and I rarely miss any updates over the weekend, but there was no updates, and even this video would not come out, but we finally reached 100 plus likes on that video, and that is why. So the likes are the only way that I can actually put out these contents pretty much every night, because otherwise, I'm not putting out these videos for money, because people that are actually on YouTube, and I know a lot of you guys have different kind of channels, that unless you have like couple million views, you're not here to make money. You're here to help people get these levels out, let the people know what you think, and your experience can help other people. That is why I'm actually here to make this video. So hope this video can get 150 likes, and that would be greatly appreciated, and the video will come out again tomorrow night. So Microsoft, what's happening? Well, you can see clearly we had this bearish engulfing candle, and from there we actually made a new low, and today another new low. So bar to bar, a brand new low here, especially on this mini uptrend, and now barely closing at that support 413. There is a gap below, and easily with the gap down we can fill this gap, and this could be a higher low here, possibly a buying opportunity, as long as the support can hold at 408.76. If not, we're coming back all the way down to 400, and from there it can go much lower, down to 395, 390. So this is gonna be your line in the sand for tomorrow, 413. If that can hold, we might see a push back over 420. Over 420, this thing can move even higher up to 431. And something interesting happening, we're not getting that tight, but you can see upper Bollinger Band actually coming down and the lower one going up. So that is a Bollinger Band squeeze. I think it's going to come down a bit more. This one's going to go up a bit more. And then we might see some sort of big explosive move here on Microsoft, and that could be coming in near future. So watch out. 413, your line in the sand. Below that, we might be filling this gap at 408.76. Above 413, the next resistance here on top, 420, and over that, we might see a pump back up to 431, 434, and then this gap comes into play, 443. On Apple stock, it's up 0.15%, so Apple pretty much gave up all the gains, and you can see bar to bar, we actually made a new low here. And actually we got the bounce, went back up, and now trading over this critical support, 226 5-day moving average. But if that gives up tomorrow, we might be pulling back down to 223, and then critical support needs to hold on any pullback 220, because underneath that level we might flush all the way back down to 207. Now the longer time we spend over 226, there is a possibility this thing can go up to 230, and from there we might be even filling this gap right here at 232.33. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me right here through this X account. Now here's a fantastic play that we actually held over the weekend, and you can see Baba was gapping up on Friday, and pretty much above 85 bucks we got 85 puts on it. And this morning that was a massive, over 250%, ran up to 300%. So this was a fantastic play, and I'm not even sharing the day trade that we actually took today. So all these trade ideas are real, in real time, especially if you want to support the channel and you're really serious about trading, then definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. On Tesla stock is down 3.23%. So if you look at my screen, Tesla kind of flagging right here. If you look at my screen, we got this mini downtrend going on, but we're nowhere near these lows down here, and this could be a bull flag pattern right here on Tesla. But the critical level we actually held today, which is 212, and also this 20-day moving average right here, which is sitting actually near 211. So that actually held today. That is the good sign. But if that gives up, this will not play out, and this thing can dump easily down to 200, and from there it can go much lower. So this 212 level needs to hold going into tomorrow's session. The longer time span right here over 212, this thing can move back up to 218.66, and over that we might see a move back up to 230s, and then from there 240, and then this gap comes into play 245.63. So far this is the level that I'm watching, 212. Underneath that you'll see a lot of selling here on Tesla. On Meta, it's down 1.30%, so Meta was an amazing trade. I actually took Meta puts right here on this date, and then this thing came down, went back up. I did not even add anything, I did not change anything, and still holding a lot of Meta puts. And these are long term. Even if this thing goes up another 30-40 bucks, I can still hold this and still come out with something like break even, or maybe even making a money. And so far my position is up. This thing is down $20 from my entry. So, took some profit off the table today, right here near these lows, and now it's holding at 520. And we all know that this is a critical level, so went back up and holding. So Meta here, you can see also we actually made a new low here on this uptrend, and now it's trading at 520. We did fill this gap, like I said before in my video today, right here at 518. So now 520 critical level. Below that you'll see a flush down to 510, 504 to 503, 50 SMA, and then 500 underneath that level for 90. Over 520, watch out for a move back up to 531, and once we get over 531, then we can talk about 538 on Meta. On Amazon, stock is down 0.87%, so Amazon was really close to filling this gap right here at 172.28, and I still think that can happen this week or maybe even tomorrow. So watch out for this gap getting filled here on Amazon, and this could be an opportunity as long as it can hold end of the day. After filling this gap at 173, you can play this to the upside. Underneath that level 173, after filling this gap, you will see a flush down to 167 and then 160, and over 173. The longer time we spend over 173 after filling this gap, this thing can move back up to 177, 180, and once we get over 180, watch out for a move up to 183.35, and then possibly up to even 185. On Google, stock it's up 0.30%, so Google kind of consolidating right here, and you can see Google got closer to 170 again, got a rejection, came back, and now holding over 166. 20-day and 13-day moving average. So as long as Google is over 166, expect this thing to move higher and possibly close this gap at 170. And over 170, this thing can move up to even 173.76 and then 176. Under 170, critical support at 166. And as soon as this support is out, you're going to see a flush down to 162, 158.51, and then flat 155. On AMD, it's down over 3%, so AMD took a massive beating today, and I was going to actually trade AMD, but unfortunately, when I saw Nvidia, they got earnings this Wednesday, stayed away from that trade, and I'm lucky that I did that. Even though it came down to 148, the support was holding, went back up, and now trading near 150. So AMD, I mean, you can call this also a mini bull flag, but AMD needs to hold 148. If not, this will not play out, and this thing can dump down to 142.65 under 148, and 142.65 gives up, then the next support 138. Now, the longer time we spend over 148, watch out for the breakout, and that would be breaking out over this candle right here, which is 162. I would like to see personally AMD over 164. If that happens, this gap comes into play and we can definitely see a big rally on AMD, but so far that's not happening. I think the range going into tomorrow's session will be 142.65 up to possibly 155. That is the range. So AMD, it's gonna go back and forth until I think we'll see a directional move soon as we get earnings from Nvidia. And this is where it's really a bad decision to trade AMD at this point, because it all depends on Nvidia's earnings, right? If that thing gaps up like 10%, you'll see this thing going up in a massive way. And the same thing can happen where this thing can dump. So Nvidia is playing with this market, guys. I mean, it's really a tough situation where you gotta know what the next move is on Nvidia, and if we don't, then just wait for the earnings and let the move happen first, and then you can trade according to that move. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn money buying calls or even shorting AMD or even Nvidia. So I would say wait tomorrow and then trade Wednesday after earnings, maybe Thursday morning. That would be a better entry on these chip stocks like AMD, Nvidia, and all that. So Netflix also up 0.25%, and you can see this one also kind of flagging right here. So we might see that play out to the upside, but we need to get over 700 to see Netflix hitting a brand new all-time high. So 700 critical resistance right here on top, and it's not even over the 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 692. So there is going to be a little bit of resistance right here at 692, and then we see 700, over 700, brand new all-time high on Netflix. Under 692, we might see that flush here on Netflix. This thing can come back to 680, and from there the next support under 680, 668.67, 664, and then 658 50-day moving average, and also have strong support 20-day moving average at 650. Under that level 650, the next support 630. But so far, I mean, this thing had a massive run, and we're just consolidating, pulling back a little bit, kind of bull flagging right here. So wait for that confirmation breakout over 700 if you're gonna play it to the upside. Otherwise, this thing, as long as you're trading under 5-day moving average, it's not going up, and we might see it's coming down and possibly taking out this support 680. On Nvidia, stock is down 2.25%. So before earnings, Nvidia selling off, and that is technically bullish, but you never know with names like Nvidia what is actually coming and whatever the CEO is cooking behind the scenes, right? So I don't know. I'm not gonna go too much into details and trying to guess the move. I mean, what's gonna be the move? But I know there is gonna be a huge move on Nvidia stock. I think the expected move is like 144 to the upside. That's pretty much brand new all-time high, and then to the downside is like 114. So depending on where things open tomorrow and Wednesday and how we close, we might see a big move on Nvidia, and that could be a big move for the market, and especially for Nasdaq 100 to push even higher, or might see a big gap down with Nvidia. So that is totally depending on their earnings, and that is why I'm not really going into these big names because of this earnings right now, trying to just wait and watch and see what it does. So Nvidia, I mean, we exploded here, guys. I mean, from these lows that I called out before, we got to 131, and now you can see consolidating and holding into closing 126, which is a good news even on a pullback. So you can see this is kind of like a consolidation. I would not call this a big pullback, and so far 126 holding. 126 can hold, then watch out for a move back up to 130, and 130 breaks, then the next stop 136. Under 126, this thing will likely to come down and take out low from this candle, which is 123, and if that's out, you're going to see Nvidia pulling back down to 117.85. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys.